Hey guys, here is why we should all be super optimistic about the future and a little bit about real wages versus nominal wages. First of all, I'm incredibly optimistic. We have seen such growth technologically that is driving real gains in productivity. No matter what they say, just because somebody pays you more money does not necessarily make you more wealthy. Yes, if everybody else stays equal in terms of the money that they are making, your money will outcompete their dollars and allow you to purchase goods like housing or other scarce commodities. However, when you just say, let's artificially raise the minimum wage to X, or let's print more money so that people get more money, all that you're doing is creating inflation. All prices go up. The same dollars that are being dispersed are competing with everybody else who has the same amount of money. So just because you have greater nominal amounts of money does not mean that you have greater wealth. Real wealth is created by new technology, by increases in productivity. So long ago, people used to have to till the fields or plant everything themselves, dig up all of the dirt. Then they learned how to use oxen. By using farm animals to help, you then were able to plant greater amounts of crop with the same time, greater productivity. Similarly, today we learned how to harness fossil fuels, which led to the Industrial Revolution, which led to all sorts of new products being created. And by harnessing fossil fuels, we have exponentially increased human output because they're able to move things that horses couldn't because there's so much power embedded into them. Similarly, today the computer has allowed us to make calculations at lightning scales and to be able to communicate with one another, which has increased productivity. Would you rather be making $1,000 a week, $50,000 a year, let's say, in 1991, or would you rather be making that today? Now, there are certain things like housing that have gone up with inflation, in some places more than others, and earning the same amount of money today will not allow you to purchase the same amount of property as making that wage in 1991. However, in 1991, a video camera cost $900 at Radio Shack. Today, you can get in a $100 Android phone a camera that is superior to a stationary camera, the video camera, a computer, everything else, a music player, a portable CD player, everything that used to be in that Radio Shack is now condensed to a smaller, more efficient smartphone that allows you to have far greater productivity. That was never available then. The richest person in the world could not buy it. Bill Gates knew it was coming, but it hadn't yet been created. And this is what we have today. We have such rapid advances in technology. Airline tickets in the past used to be far more expensive than they are today. To trade stocks, if you want to be an investor, it used to cost you hundreds of dollars for a trade. Today, it's zero because of advances in technology that have mitigated any friction that used to be there to the point where it's now you can go on Schwab, and Schwab is offering $0 trades. So you can get things far cheaper than in the past. And of course, as I said, there are certain things that are more expensive, but airline tickets, cheaper. Trading, cheaper. Video cameras, anything technological, cheaper. And it's just going to continue going into the future. I have read from many reputable sources, including Ray Kurzweil of Google, whose predictions from the past have come to fruition at a high rate. And other people as well. And the advances in artificial intelligence, assuming that we don't create Skynet and terminate ourselves, Schwarzenegger is here to terminate you, we will have the most rapid advance technologically in history, far surpassing the industrial age. It's exponential. The curve goes like this. That is the massive increase in output that artificial intelligence is going to have. They are going to be taking over remedial jobs that anybody can do and freeing up human time to do something creative, to do something else. And it's going to benefit us so significantly, so tremendously, that we aren't even aware of it. Think about this. There are drivers who are 85 years old who should not be on the road and might have had their license taken away already. Driverless cars are going to offer them a cheap way to get around and be mobile again. There are going to be diseases that are going to be cured by a nanotechnology where you insert little microscopic computers into your system that are going to go communicate with the cells and potentially reverse disease, because they are going to tell the cell to start acting correctly. There's going to be a communication. There are going to be so many advances in the future, and instead of encouraging this, a lot of lawmakers want to limit the free market, because the reason that we've been able to get this far is because we've been competitive, because there's competition, and competition begets more competition and better products. If you take a look at the DMV, most government agencies are completely stagnant and grow at a far slower rate than private corporations. And the fact that we've had some fantastic military innovations which created the internet as a means for the premier of Russia and the president of the United States to be able to communicate with each other to avert nuclear war, and this is how the internet began, was a government-funded project. Fantastic, because there were people that saw a light that they wanted to go to, that were inspired. And in general, though, this is from private corporations. This is from the Teslas of the world. This is from the Steve Jobses, the Bill Gates, the Jeff Bezoses, Amazon. It's just amazing what will be coming. So here's a little money tip. If you have some finance, just put almost all of it into the S&P 500, and 10 years from now, because the stock market, the true gains in the stock market are a measure of increased productivity, which is why the stock market recently has been rising so much quicker than perhaps it did in the past. Why we've seen such exponential growth there, because it basically is just tracking gains in human productivity and the real wealth that is created. Yes, hopefully we don't annihilate ourselves with nuclear weapons. Hopefully artificial intelligence doesn't take over and destroy the world. Yes, it is possible that somebody will create a plague using artificial intelligence to destroy us. A terrorist is certainly liable to do this, or it is a possibility. But if that doesn't happen, we as a human race are going to lead absolutely fabulous lives with increasing longevity, increasing freedom, increasing less constraints on our time, less hours worked. And you know, when people talk about utopian system and communism, when we have artificial intelligence that's creating everything for us, there will be no lack. At that point, perhaps we can employ it. Not that, believe me, I am not favoring communism in the slightest. It does not work on a human level, because the game theoretically is unstable and will never work. But in the future, when you take the human element out of production, things can be shared much more fairly, and perhaps then the utopia will come. But these are the reasons that I'm so hopeful. So it's technological progress, again, that drives real wealth creation. So would you rather be making $1,000 in 1991 a week, $50,000 a year, or $50,000 today? I would much rather be making that amount today. It buys you even more. So when people tell you that real wages haven't gone up and this is why we need all these government mandates, it's simply not true, because you are able to purchase much more than you were in the past for the same amount of money. And in other countries are ascending the economic scales so rapidly, it is heartwarming. You can go to Southeast Asia, where I am making this video right now, and you will be able to see over the years the ascent and the wealth that has been created all over, and it is inspiring and it is fantastic. And all the ungrateful Americans out there that say, woe is me and I hate my life and it's so unfair how much other people have, be grateful that you were born in this age. I really mean that. Show some gratitude that you are alive today with all the possibilities that are offered. Life has never been easy, ever. It's not better in the old time, it's better now. You got a cut in the wrong place. 100 years ago, you were dead. You just got an infection and you died, or they amputated your leg or your arm, whatever. That's just the reality of it. Today we have antibiotics that cure you. It is so fantastic to be alive right now. And 20 years from now, it's going to be even better. Just have a little bit of faith in this. Goodness gracious, God bless every single person out there. Be grateful and look at the bright side of life. That's what I ask. If you like this video, if you're inspired at all, leave me a comment or share it or subscribe. Either way, I'm grateful that you guys stuck around and listened to